So last week I watched episode 1 to 6 of the newest season of Baki, and I made a video on it, so if you want more context for today's video where I watched the last 6 episodes, then go and watch that video. But if not, we chillin'. Shit was about to go down. The strongest person in the USA versus Mr. Second, the president of a small country. Let's just go straight into it and watch the episode. Oliver finally reveals his girlfriend and she's like 600 kg. He jumps out of his clothes and his clothes remain standing. Personally, I don't know the physics behind that, but you know, Baki. So they decide the match is gonna be whoever lets go of the cloth that they're holding loses. So you can be knocked out and still holding the cloth. So Oliver just starts getting beat the fuck up by Mr. Second. I've noticed in this show, people just don't block. That's not a thing you do. And then Oliver falls over on purpose and the cloth supports his 400-pound ass. Bro, fuck Yujiro. The cloth is the strongest thing in the show. Baki gets kinda pissed because these guys are acting soft. They're the strongest in the prison, but yet they're fighting over a single cloth. Baki must have some kind of death wish because he decides to sleep next to Biscuit, Oliver's girl. So obviously Oliver's surprised by Baki's outrageous activities, but his girl ain't surprised. She says you're a beta male, you're a grown man fighting over a handkerchief, you got all those muscles yet you still look like a bitch. And she says, no wonder this boy fell asleep. Like, there are some menaces in this show, but she's a menace. So Oliver just throws this demonic punch at Mr. Second. And bro, he just flew. Baki and Oliver talk and Oliver's like, I'm not even angry for you. I understand that 2 men should fight until one can't anymore. So everyone's forgot about Mr. Second for some reason. So he has to remind everyone that he ain't a bitch and he ain't down yet. So he starts singing. So none of this bullshit with the cloth. We're truly fighting now. Mr. Second has got serious as well. They're acting serious now, but the difference in strength is kind of showing, you know. And this scene, man, bro, his eyes are like bulging out, man. What the? So while throwing that disgusting attack, I don't even know. I can't even call it a punch, bro. He's like grabbing his eyes and shit. Oliver says, how long has it been since I had to throw a serious attack? If anything, Mr. Second is durable, if not anything else, bro. He gets up after that attack. And these niggas just look at each other and they're like, okay, we're gonna settle this fight in one punch. And then bro, what? He goes gear second. The core of the earth. Mr. Second said he's gonna hit him with the power of the core of the literal earth. But none of that even matters anymore because we are in the end game. And the winner is Mr. Second. Then Yujiro shows up and gives his title of the world's strongest creature to Mr. Second. So Mr. Second owns the prison and everyone's just vibing, but then this is the best scene in Baki, bro. They gave me actual goosebumps, man. Bro, it's diabolical, bro. This nigga's feet are angled upwards. He is not getting back up, I can assure you that. The fight is definitely over. Everyone's a bit shocked after the fight, but the show's called Baki for a reason. So he wants to fight Oliver, like now. So Oliver gives him a little pat on the back. There have been so many disrespectful moments in anime, but Oliver singing the same song Mr. Second sang, it feels bad, man. It feels like an absolute violation. Mr. Second lost his fight, so he decides to go back to his own country, but he also leaves a little invitation for Oliver to come whenever he wants. Without the influence of Second being there, there's room for a new Unchained, and Baki tries to take it. So Baki starts blasting, and then we see how martial arts can let you dodge bullets. Baki's just brutally beating the fuck out of anyone, but then the warden and guys with literal AK-47s pull up. So the warden just smiles at him and says, do you think you can still become unchained? And Baki just says yes, bro, like, this is nothing to him. So they surround his ass and the warden's like, bro, do you still think you can be unchained now? Baki's just looking as confident as ever, bro. And he says, I'm already escaping. So then his glass is big and he's like, what the fuck? Baki's like, what do you mean? I broke them earlier. So Baki's surrounded by guns and he's like, nah, I ain't the hostage, you niggas are the hostage. He forces the warden to walk with him with his arm around him so everyone thinks that they're cool. So we get outside and then the warden's like, so you're going to leave? And Baki's like, no, I just wanted to see if I could become unchained. So the true Biscuit Oliver comes in and he's like, what the fuck? You're trying to steal my name? So Baki, he just starts disrespecting Oliver. He's like, I can do everything you can do, so what separates me and you? Oliver's like, yeah, I'll show you the difference. But I don't know, man. Baki's on smoke. He says to the strongest man in the USA, you don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. Go eat some food and then come back later. And I've never seen Oliver this mad, man. He calms the fuck down because he realizes getting angry at a teenager will make him look soft. But Baki just keeps going, man, getting under this man's skin and shit. Baki chooses to go into solitary confinement. Like, couldn't be me, what the fuck? Oliver pays him a little visit to like boast and shit because he's still pissed. Baki's like, even though I'm in chains, stuck in this room, I'm still more free than you. So Oliver just goes fucking R. Kelly on his ass, starts pissing on him, like out of nowhere, what the fuck? And then Baki just smiles, bro, like, I don't even know, is he into that shit, man? Man's got a piss king. So after releasing the piss from his balls, he says that he's gonna set up a date for Baki to fight where the whole world is gonna watch. So he goes to Baki's cell to tell him about the fight. Baki calls him chained and says that he wants to fight now, even though he's still handcuffed. So Oliver finally understands what Baki's been saying this entire time. So he lets go of his pride and decides to become free, unchained. Oliver puts Truckton to shame, man. He hits so hard. So Baki gets out of his chains and bro, Oliver uses him like a fucking ragdoll. Then he does something just so heinous. He spears the man through like 7 walls. At the moment, you cannot call this a fight. He punches Baki through a solitary door onto the hard pavement below. Like, what? And then Baki finally slaps back and bro, this must be the most disheartening thing ever. But I would rather be cheated on. How is somebody going to be holding you up by your leg while you kick them in the face with your other leg and they just have no fucking reaction? Like, honestly, I wouldn't give up because of the pain. I would give up because of how disrespectful that is. Then he throws him to the ground at such force that it creates a 30cm deep crater, and then Baki bounces back up like it's a fucking basketball. So Baki gets a power up after being knocked the fuck out. Basically, it's like your muscles form a demon, so then you're stronger or something. So Oliver knows of this change, yet he still goes in for a punch, and bro, he goes sleep so fast. It's literally instant. But after going sleep, he gets up and he goes into like this weird ball thingy. Bro, I don't even know what's going on anymore. So Oliver's in a ball and then he eats Baki. So Oliver's whooping this nigga again. And then he tries to do the same like eating thing. And Baki already knows, so he just beats the fuck out of him. Then Mike Tyson appears and he's like, Baki, this guy's like 4 times heavier than you and like 2 times taller. What the fuck are you doing? And then Baki gets off the wall in like the coolest way possible, man. Like, bro. Then they both decide to go blow for blow. No dodging, no blocking. Just until someone gets knocked out. Bro, like, oh my. The difference in size looks so dumb. But don't forget, Baki is using the demon back. Oliver starts getting pushed back, bro. Like, this hurt. And then Oliver puts all of his power into this one fucking haymaker. And Baki takes it. And it's all over from there, man. He hit him so hard, the art style changed. Biscuit Oliver, unchained, finally admits defeat. To be honest, I wanted Oliver to win, but now Baki is this strong, he has a chance to actually beat his dad. So Baki leaves the prison and the US Army guy from before tells Yujiro of Baki's latest accomplishment. And instead of just laughing at him, he actually respects Baki for taking one of the strongest people down. This season was the best season of Baki I've ever watched. And next season, I know there's going to be a new enemy. An enemy from like prehistoric times. As I said before, this was by far the best season of Baki. But I got like a tingling sensation in my balls. Because I think next season is going to be even better. But do you know what doesn't tingle? Pressing the like and subscribe button. So go do that if you enjoyed this video. I need to stop doing cringe transitions. But yeah, this is the end of the video. I have no clue what I'm going to do for my next video because this is over. But yeah, see ya.